In Brazil, the slum communities are known as favelas. Rocinha is the largest favela in Brazil and the biggest in Latin America, in fact.
I live here in this favela and I'm surrounded by people with very little money who work very hard. They have a lot of struggles. There's good and bad. There's over 6,000 businesses here in Rocinha. 4 banks, 8 sushi restaurants, pet stores, beauty salons, anything you possibly need. What the people here have created in Rocinha alone is incredible. That's the firecrackers there. That's, they're signalling to the gang that the police are nearby. That's what that noise was. It's good timing. In Rocinha, I'm a tour guide and I'm setting up an English school here. There are over 1,000 favelas in Rio de Janeiro, so almost 30% of the population live inside favelas. There is a misconception about the favela. People come on a tour a little bit nervous, apprehensive. Is it dangerous? Are they safe? I think the media portrays the favela and the drug traffickers and the violence here the way they do because it makes good storylines. But to me, they're actually the nicest and happiest people I've ever met in my life.
Zezinho is probably one of the most interesting people I've ever met. He's very famous in the favela for being known as Mr. Rocinha. You can see it all over his body, his love for the favela.
My mother is from the United States and my father is from Rocinha. I was born and raised in the favela. The origins of the word favela come from a plant that grew on one of the first hillsides in Rio.
In the early 1900s, Brazilians from the northeast came to Rio for work. Housing back then in Copacabana and downtown were too expensive, so they formed temporary shanty towns in the hilltops around Rio, and that's what formed the favelas.
They saw this favela plant on the hillside. You could cut it down, and like a weed, it would keep coming back.
The government kept trying to tear away the housing. People kept building them back very quick again.
That's where the word favela comes from. But the thing about this plant, it has thorns on it. So it's like you don't mess with the favela plant. It's beautiful, but it's got thorns, so you gotta watch it.
It was only since 1985, when the dictatorship in Brazil ended, that the government stopped trying to remove the houses, and then people started building houses out of brick and cement, more permanent housing. It's almost not real, it's like another world. To build a house is extremely difficult because all the materials gets carried down the alleyways. All the alleyways, which there's over 500 of, was all built and created by the community. You find the right person, the community will make it happen.
Meu nome é Luciano. Eu tenho muito serviço aqui dentro da Rocinha. A pessoa às vezes liga para mim, me chama, porque confia muito em mim. Aqui eu carrego muita areia, pedra, tijolo, quando é isso é entulho. A favela é um morro que dá muita coisa para a pessoa.
They will always start doing one level of the house, and then slowly over time, when they've saved enough money, they will then build a next level of the house. No architecture or plans involved at all. You do it yourself. The people pulled their own electric lines down all these alleyways. What it's amassed to down the years is a complete clusterfuck of wires. Wow, what the hell is that? How does that work? But somehow they know what they're doing and it works. You can really see how it's built off the cuff. But it almost looks like a work of art. I think it looks very beautiful, almost like a giant sculpture.
The people in Rocinha, they're clever enough to achieve something great with whatever means they've got.
My family came up with the idea of the hostel to make some extra money. My property is composed of 3 floors. People from England, US, Australia, they prefer to stay here to see the real side of Brazil. When my mom was younger, she had to struggle a lot. My mom moved to Rocinha when she was 18. We have a better opportunity than my mom had when she lived on the countryside. Can I keep going?
There's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things happened in the favela lately.
Essa é a Capitana FM Eu falo das coisas que acontecem na Rocinha, das coisas que eu fico meio indignadas. A mídia não passa, na verdade, o que nós vivemos na favela.
The government has started to do things in the favelas. Mainly, they've sent in the military police to patrol the favelas 24 hours a day.
Nós vivemos 24 horas oprimido pelos policiais, mas a mídia não passa isso. A mídia vende que é um projeto que está sendo o maior sucesso.
It hasn't pushed out the drug traffickers. They're still here and there's a lot of conflict.
Long time ago, people from outside thought that everybody inside of favela was a drug dealer. I want to show that people inside of favela are hard workers, and it's not only because we live here we have to blame ourselves and like we cannot do anything. No, if you're creative, you can do a lot of stuff really big.
Of course, we do have drug traffickers here, we do have the shootings here, but that is less than 1% of life in this community.
Do acolhimento que as pessoas dão. Essas coisas eu acho que é o que eu gosto mais. Eu acho que mesmo nós sendo favelado, nós conseguimos sim realizar nossos sonhos.
As Rocinha has developed over the years, it's attracted thousands of people that have moved here for a better quality of life.
I think the way the favela is built shows this kind of freedom. It doesn't matter what skin colour you are, how much money you have, where you're from, and that's quite special, I think.
People here are real, they are strugglers, they are hard workers. We started from the bottom, now trying to reach the top.